Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these brushstroke style designs. You can see I have this one here. I put this up in my Etsy shop just a few weeks ago. It's already selling well. You can see it's got 12 sales already. And to make these, it's actually really easy. I'm going to show you two different methods though. The first one is going to be in Canva, using some Canva frames that I actually created. You can purchase these. I have them here. This is the Canva frame for this type of design that I've got. And then I'm actually going to jump into this type of design here in a little bit, but first let's focus on this one and let's focus on the Canva and how you can do it with these frames. If you're thinking you don't want the Canva frame, you want to actually make it from scratch on your own, no worries. At the end of the video, we will hop into Inkscape and I'll show you how to make it without any frames. Okay, so here we are in Canva. If you purchase the brushstroke frames, that would be this one here, you are going to get this frame template. There's 4 different options. You'll get a set of 4 frames, or you'll get a set of 3 frames, and they work several different ways. Let's just take, this is one group. So if I take a photo, let me grab some elements. No, let me grab an upload that I've already done. Let's say I take this little cow here and I throw it in there. That is all one frame. It will only hold one photo. This one though, there are 2 frames. Actually, there are 3 frames. This is one, and this is one. So let's say I take this guy, and here we have the nutcracker, and then I take this guy, and I just want the train in this one. So I'll throw the train into there. And then in this one, I'll put the tree. So you see, I'm just dragging these photos into the frames, and then I'm double clicking the photo to move it around. So that one, let me take that out of there. Right click, detach. Let me get, move out of the way, photo. Let me put this nutcracker in. Okay. Then I'm going to double click and pull up the photo here and just drag it to where I want it in the frame. So that's how that frame would work. Option 2 has 1 frame on the left, a double frame in the middle, and another frame on the right. Now option 3, there are 4 separate frames. So you could take this, and this, and this, and this, and we can have 4 different photos here. There we go. So that one has 4 different frames in it. Okay, now the same with the 3 frame option. So this one here, we have 4 different brush strokes. This design here, we have 3 brush strokes. So if I take the same cow and I put that in there, that's going to fill up the whole thing because it's just 1 frame. This one, it's going to work exactly the same as it did before. I'm going to put the nutcracker there. I'm going to put, I double clicked and got too many of them. I'm going to put the train in the middle. And then let's put another nutcracker at the front. So it is that easy to use these Canva frames. Super simple. You do not have to use pre-made designs. Like I had actually made this one myself already. If I want to get rid of the image, I can right click and detach. That image pops out and then I just hit the backspace to delete the image. But you know, you can use anything. Like here's some glitter. I can throw that in there. Or here's a pink, I don't know, whatever that pink thing is. I can put, oops, let me spell right. Valentine's background. Hop it over to photos. You do need a photo element to be able to go into this frame. but literally anything that's a photo element is going to go into these frames. You don't have to design up your own. You can put anything in there you want. I want to throw these cupcakes in there and some sprinkles and then cupcakes again. It's super, super easy to use these frames however you want. Then if you want to add some words, you just click on the white space of your design, type a T, and you can type in whatever you want. Change up the font. Whoopsie. Place that on the design wherever you want it to go. And then before you save, you do need to delete the wording that I have on the template. You don't want to download my wording on your design. Okay, let's move on to this one, the one that has all of these brush strokes in there that makes a really, really cool, fun design. Okay, so here is the Canva frame for this one. Now currently it looks like a big old blob. There are actually 5 sets of frames in here. And when you put them all together, it makes this one solid photo. But let's start filling this one up. So let's just come get some of these recently used things here. Okay, I'm going to start with some of these solid colors because that'll make it easier to see. So I've got the pink one. I'm just going to bring it over here until it hops into a frame. Perfect. Okay. Now to get to the next frame, I have to move this one out of the way. They are all layered on top of each other so that everything stays in position, and when the design is finished, it all fits together. But I can just move that out of the way. And then let's come grab this pink. And we'll plop that into the next frame. Move it out of the way. Let's get like a red. Okay, and then we'll get another pink maybe. Oh, that was the first pink. I don't want to do that one. Let's do this pink. It's all the same. I need a different pink. Well, let's just do some glitter. We'll take this one, and then let's do some gold glitter. Now let's use this one. No, let's use this one. Okay, and then some of the background does show through, so you'll want to change it to something that is cohesive to your design. I'm going to make it like that pink right there. Okay, so right now it's just a big old mess. But if I drag my box around everything so that it's all selected, I can position it, center it all up, and then just move it back to the top of my design. And just like that, you have got one of those messy paintbrush. This red is just not working for me. Let me put something else in there. Let's do, oh, sure, I'll throw this pink glitter in the red. That's a lot of pink, and now this pink doesn't look good. Anyways, you want to play with that and get it looking good. But yeah, that one is also super, super simple to use. So that is this design. And I can actually show you this one that I made using the same template. So I made this using that exact template that I just showed you. So if you do play around with it, you can get it to look perfect, and it's going to be awesome for those fun coquette designs that you're seeing everywhere right now. Okay, so I'm going to link to the Canva Frame Templates in my Etsy shop if you do want to go purchase those. They're pretty cheap. The one that just has the 3 or the 4 brush strokes is $1.99. The one that has all of the messy brush strokes put together is $2.50. But like I said, if you don't want to go purchase a Canva frame, if you want to make it on your own, let's hop into Inkscape and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I have an Inkscape document pulled up. Let's go ahead and size this. We're going to come to File, Document Properties, and let's just make it 3000 by 3000 pixels. That's a really good size for any kind of print quality that you want. I just changed this to pixel. 3000, 3000, click enter. I can close that out. Now if I hit the minus screen on my keyboard, you can see my work area has turned into a square. And I'm going to go ahead and lock up the page so that anything I add does not get all skewed out of shape when I try to drag it around. Okay, so let's get these brush strokes in here. That's actually really simple. So I came to Creative Fabrica and I grabbed this file. There are tons of brush strokes in this file. It's what I use to make everything with that other one that had all of the ones merged in together. I used just a bunch of different ones from here. So I will link to this as well if you want to grab this file. Right now we have got the Black Friday deals going on. I am not exactly sure what will be going on when I post this video, but you can almost always get a yearly subscription to Creative Fabrica for $47 a year. And when you do that, then anything you want to download for that year is completely free. So I have a link I'll put in the video description. It'll take you to how you can get Creative Fabrica for a year for $47. And if it is still the Black Friday, you're going to get a free gift of scissor vinyl when you sign up for that yearly all access. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to import some of those brush strokes. So we'll hit File, Import, and you just go find where you had those saved on your computer. The one I want to use is Artboard 15. Now the thing with SVG files is there is no preview. You have to know what you're uploading. So you might want to just go look at it before and see what its name was before you put it into your design. Now you can see that's pretty small. That's okay, we're going to enlarge it, but first I want to rotate it. I'm going to use my rotate handle here and I'm just going to rotate it to the right and enlarge it, make it bigger. And actually I might want to squish it in just a little bit. Okay, so I want two more of the exact same thing. I'll right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate. Now I have 3 brush strokes. I'm going to flip this one the other way so that they aren't all identical. So I've got it selected. This is going to flip it right or flip it left. That actually looks terrible. Never mind. Maybe I'll just rotate them a little bit. If I double click, I'm going to get rotate handles. One click gives me enlargement handles. Another click gives me rotate handles. And double clicking too fast is going to give you nodes. Maybe that one can flip. Oh, okay, hold on. So yeah, you're just going to play around and get the strokes looking however you want them to look. Just for the purposes of making this a quicker tutorial, I'm going to stop right there. Now you need to get the design that you want to put into your brush strokes. So let me pull that in. So here's the little design that we're going to put into the brush strokes. Let me make that a little bit smaller for now. I created this design using graphics from Creative Fabrica again. I took one of these backgrounds. I took this Highland Cow. I put them together and made this great background. I will link to both of those designs as well if you want to check that out. Okay, so it's really simple. If I just want one, if I just want this cow to be in all of the frames, I'm going to make sure that it's big enough to cover them. I'm going to put it back behind the frames. I'm going to use this selection arrow to move it down to the back. And I'm going to group my 3 brush strokes together. So I've clicked the first one, hold shift, click the second one, keep holding shift, click the third. They're all selected. Right click, group. Okay, now I don't know exactly where this little design is going to show up, but if I take the opacity down on these, I've clicked them. Over here in the fill and stroke menu, if you don't see fill and stroke, you're going to click this little arrow, come grab fill and stroke, and it'll pull up your fill and stroke menu. While you are in this, if you're not in it, you're not going to get the right menu. There's all kinds of other things up here. But while I'm in my fill and stroke menu, I can take the opacity and I can drop it down. Now I can see where those brush strokes are, but I can also see my design and see if I need to resize it, see how it's going to look in there, make sure that the bubble gum's going to show up like directly in the middle. Actually, I think I'm going to want it a little over here. I think that's perfect. Okay, now I've got to pull the opacity back up on this or else my design is not going to look right. Okay, so these three are grouped together, right? That's the first thing that we did there. I'm going to select the 3 brush strokes that I have grouped together. I'm going to hold shift and select my pattern that I want to put into the brush strokes. Right click, set clip. Just like that, you've got that design inside of your brush strokes and it is awesome. Okay, but let's say you don't want one single design inside of your brush strokes. You want to put several designs inside of your brush strokes. Okay, we're going to pop this design out. I'm going to hit right click and release clip. Now it's taken that picture out. And let me ungroup my brush strokes because I want to work with them separately. So right click and ungroup. And then I'm going to duplicate this picture 3 times rather than add in more photos. Okay, let me throw some of these off to the side. So let's say I want the cow here. So I've got it behind there. The cow print is selected. I'm going to hold shift and select just one brush stroke. Right click, set clip. That one's there. And now let's say I'm just going to get some flowers in here. Okay, put that to the bottom. I'm going to use my arrows and move it all the way to the bottom. The little cow print is selected. I'm going to just select this brush stroke, hold shift and select that. Right click, set clip. Okay, and that kind of looks like a sunflower or something. Let's do the other end. Let's turn it this way. Put it over here. Move it to the back. While it is selected, I will hold shift and select my last brush stroke and then right click and set clip. So you can put 3 separate photos in as well. You could have added a 4th brush stroke and put a 4th photo in. Whatever you want to do, it really is that easy to design these in Inkscape as well. But I'm going to release all these clips and I'm going to show you how I made that one with all the brush strokes on it. Okay, so these need to be much smaller. And I'm just going to start placing some brush strokes on the page. I need way more brush strokes. Now I don't really know which ones I used. I'm just going to start grabbing some. Did that come in? Yeah. Okay, we're just going to work with these. It's not going to look exactly like the example I showed you, but this will show you how to do it. So I'm just turning these all right side up. You can also just use your rotate handles here if you want. Okay, and let me try to get them roughly the same size as the other ones here. But you can have varying sizes. You do want some to be a little different. Let's make that one a skinnier one. And we'll make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, so what you're going to do is just start placing these around your page. If it helps you to visualize, you can start turning these things different colors so you can tell kind of what's what. So I'm going to delete that. Those are the same. I'm going to delete that. So I can see the 4 that I'm starting with. This one just has 4. Okay, and they are all different colors. Okay. So just start placing them together. I put those 2 together and I duplicated it. It only duplicated 1, that's fine. Right click, duplicate. I want to raise this up to the top. Put that over that. And I want to flip this one around. Put that here. Maybe put that there. Then this whole thing back here, I'm going to hold Shift and select all of them. I'm going to group that together, duplicate it, and I'm just going to start moving this around the page because it's a decent start. And then I can flip this one to make it look a little different, and I can flip this one the other way to make it look a little different. And I'm just going to start filling up the page. In fact, I'm going to make all of this a little bit bigger so it doesn't take me as long to fill up the page. All right. You know what? Bigger still so that that goes across the whole. There we go. I'm going to hop these over to the side real quick. I'm just going to fill up the page. Let me flip this like this way maybe, and then I'll flip this that way. Duplicate, flip it. Just do whatever you need to do to get your page all filled up. Let's flip that way. Okay. I'm going to make my screen a little bit smaller. I just hit the minus key on my keyboard. I want this to fill every bit of my white work area. All right, so there is my background. I'm going to group it all together. And then I'm going to start placing these on the top. I want that to be at the very top. It went behind some other layers, so I'm just going to use my arrows to move it to the top. Same thing with this. Use my arrows and move it to the top. Then I need to make these bigger. And duplicate those all around. And mess with them, turn some one way, turn some another way, just so that you've got a bunch of different variations of what you're putting in here. And flip them all around, move them whichever way you want them. You'll continue doing that, and each of these will work exactly like the frames did before. You'll grab your photo again. Okay, and you will put it into the different little brush strokes. So let's say we're going to put it in this brush stroke here. So I've got the brush stroke selected, and let's say I want that brush stroke to be right there. I'm going to take my little cow, move it behind the brush stroke. So I'm going to use these arrows again, but I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom. I just want it behind that one brush stroke. So instead of going all the way to the bottom, I'm going to lower in steps. Clicking it down got me behind that brush stroke. That's not where I want to be. Now I'm behind the brush stroke that I want to be behind. So I'm going to select my cow, hold Shift, select my brush stroke, right click, set clip, and there it is. You will do that for all of your brush strokes. Now let's say I wanted all of the little burgundy looking ones to have the cow. No worries. Right, or click this one, hold shift, let's get them all selected. Now I'm going to group that together. Take my cow, place it behind there. My cow is selected, hold shift, select my brush strokes, right click, set clip, and now it is in all of those. So you do not have to go one by one by one, but you can if you want to. Once you've got your design done and it's time to export out of Inkscape, we do not want all these rough edges on here. We want it to have that nice, let me pull mine up again. We want it to have the nice squared look to it so that you can use it as a digital paper or you can use it to fill something else. You just don't want all that messy edge to it. So what you want to do when you come to export your design, let me group all of this together. Control G will group it. You can also right click and group it. Also, just so you know, when we're doing that set clip, I'm doing right click and I'm going to set clip, but you can also do object, clip, set clip. It's all in there too. Okay, so this is all grouped together. Do you see the white workspace we have on our page? You just center it up on there and you can see it. It's got this little line here. This is the white workspace of your page. So then when you come to export, here's my export, but again, if you don't see it here, you're going to come File, Export, and it will pull up your export menu for you. You want to export the page. Don't export the document, don't export selection, export the entire page, and it will only export what is in that white square. So anything off the sides of that white square will get clipped off and you will have your perfect square design. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you. We'll see you next time.